So now we have our code printed right here. Hello world. This is a simple way to actually run Python code. And in most of our classes, we're going to be using this. So have fun. Right now, we're going to start talking about variables. So what exactly is a variable in Python? Basically, a variable in Python is a symbolic name that serves as a reference or pointer to an object. To show you what this is, I would simply create a new code block and we'll try out an example. Let's say name equals Marv. Now, when you have this, name right here is simply a variable and it contains this object, which is Marv. Now, this is a string object and we'll get to talk about strings in the future. For now, I just want you to understand that this serves as a container while this is a value. So when we say it serves as a reference or pointer to an object, it means if we decide to say print name, we are expected to have Marv as the result. Let's try out some other example. So let's say we're working with numbers and we have a, or let's say we have number 1 equals 10 and we have number 2 equals 20. Then we'll say print number 1 plus number 2. Of course, the value is 30. So right now, we have the value of 10 stored inside the container number 1, the value of 20 stored inside the container number 2. And right now, when we say number 1 plus number 2, we are expected to grab the values, which is 10 plus 20, giving us the result as 30. When working with variables, you can also include what we refer to as type hints. Now, a type hint in Python is a simple way to document the kind of type you expect to have when working with a specific variable. We have different types in Python. We'll talk about that in the next video. But just to show you an example, when we say number 1 and we know we are about to use 10, 10 actually is a number. And in Python, you can actually use int type for that. So this tells us that we are expecting an integer type. Now, this is not enforced, meaning if you also decide to pass in something else, your program would also run. It's best practice to have a type int so that other developers or other members of your team would understand what you are expected to pass into your variable. So type int is equals 20. And now we would say print number 1 plus number 2. Print this, plus we get the same result, 30. If we're working with a string, for example, we can say name with the string type equals marvelous, 1. Now we can simply say print. This is a simple example on how to use variables. Some of the rules when working with variables would include the following. The variable must start with a letter or the underscore character. The variable cannot start with a number. The variable can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. Variables are also case sensitive. So when you have variables that look like this, they actually mean different things. To show you some examples, the first rule there says that the variable can only start with a letter or an underscore. So you can have underscore name. Right now, if we print name, this of course is valid. Remember with the underscore. If we decide to use a number, so you see this is going to result in an error because this is not valid. You can also use the caps option, just like this. This is also valid. As a matter of fact, we can even include more underscores. Of course, this is valid, but please ensure when you create a variable, make sure it's something that other developers can understand, or you can even understand, in the nearest future. Make sure it's something that has meaning. So for example, I can have username. This is straightforward and it's better than using X. All right. Have a wonderful time. I will see you in the next one.